State chase those groundwood fruit down, you can see in the back, and then they get stacked in.
Oh no!
Thank you so much, Jackie.
Yeah, what a good
big man.
America for losing such a great president.
Nope, wagon.
During the Civil War, a young Union Army colonel went to his bugler and asked him to come up with a bugle tune that would both calm and reassure his weary men after a long day in the field. The Union bugler composed what's known today as taps. Taps is played to honor those who sacrificed their lives for our freedoms we enjoy today. Please remove your hats and listen quietly to as taps are played. Thank you. And it was for all the troops that are serving today and have served. We appreciate their sacrifices that they made. Now, we have what is known as the funeral train that went from city to city so the people could pay their respect to President Abraham Lincoln. And to give us the talk on this is Abby Chuta. And while she is giving this talk, the troops are going to be picking up all the balloons.
Ladies and gentlemen, the days of the Civil War, especially in the South, all the fighting was in the South after Gettysburg. And so the people were so hungry and so out of everything, they would actually go out on the battlefield in the evening and try and find supplies and weaponry and ammunition and all the things they needed to stay alive down there in the South. We're going to get a little speech about this. Go ahead, Abby.
President Lincoln died of his wounds on April 15, 1865. Our nation's beloved president was gone. Instantly, flags were lowered to half-mast all over Washington, and our country turned to mourning. Mourning the loss of a great leader. Mourning the loss of sons, brothers, friends, and neighbors. Lincoln's death symbolized all the grief and loss which had touched every citizen of our country. So great was this loss that New York City's mayor recommended that all businesses be suspended in observation of Lincoln's passing. President Lincoln's funeral took 4 days to plan. Funeral services were held in the White House, with more than 600 admitted to the private service. Then Lincoln's remains were held on display in the Capitol Rotunda, where more than 38,000 people passed by to pay their respects. From there, the funeral took to the rails. A funeral train was arranged to take Lincoln's casket across the country to his boyhood home, allowing stops in many major cities for public viewing. The train covered 1,700 miles and saw an estimated 30 million mourners. The funeral train left Washington on April 25th. It consisted of 8 coaches. 6 coaches were for family and mourners, 1 coach for honor guards, and 1 funeral car. Several thousand soldiers lined the railroad track and presented arms as the train departed the depot in Washington, amid tolling bells and bowed uncovered heads. The train's first stop was in Maryland. At each stop, Lincoln's coffin was removed from the train and put on public display. In Pennsylvania, the train depot unfolded a banner stating, "Martyr of Liberty." The train mourns his loss. Though dead, he still lives. 500,000 people turned out in Philadelphia, where Lincoln's casket was displayed in Liberty Hall with the Liberty Bell at his head, so that everyone who passed by could read its inscription, "Proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all inhabitants thereof." In New Jersey, the train was greeted by tolling bells and the firing of minute guns. One witness stated, "It seems as if the whole state had come to witness the passing of the funeral train." New York put Lincoln's remains in display in City Hall. There, roughly 120,000 New Yorkers came by to pay their respects to their former leader. Cleveland, Ohio was intent on making sure that common people could have access to Lincoln's remains, so they built a special gazebo in a public park to house the president. All day, through pouring rain, people lined up to see the fallen president. On the train went, stopping in Indiana and finally on May 3rd in Springfield, Illinois. It was here Lincoln's was home that the train arrived to a multitude of people standing apparently with uncovered heads, in complete and utter silence. Doors had closed, businesses shut down, streets were silent, and flags were at half mast. Here in Springfield, Lincoln was finally put to rest. As the funeral procession headed out to the cemetery, Lincoln's old horse Bob followed his hearse. Leading Bob was an African-American minister and friend of Lincoln's, Reverend Harry Brown. Thus, even in death, Lincoln made a great statement to our country. May 3rd, 1865, our 16th president was laid to rest. With the war finally over, the North dragged itself back home and back to business. The South lay in ruins. It would take time and effort for the Southerners to put their lives and livelihoods back together. And the whole country, though whole again, would take time to heal.
Thank you so much, Abby. Ladies and gentlemen, this time I would really like to commend our audience. I cannot remember another year, and this just gets a little better every year. You guys were great. I'm glad I hope you all enjoyed it, and we appreciate Mr. Glazer and letting Henry J. Mitchell School come over to witness this event. I want to thank my good friend Claire Chilworth, and I'd like to thank the high school for letting us use their field. Mr. Delstone, our Martin B. King Elementary President, up in running the sound up top. We appreciate him. Give him a nice hand. The teachers, especially our fifth grade. Give your teachers a big cheer. And most of all, we want to thank the kids. And thank God we live in the greatest country on the face here, and probably the best city in the entire country. Parents, if you would like to come down and take the ice chest home and any of the props that you have, we sure appreciate you coming out on this beautiful day. And if you